marketing, sales, and digital strategy. So I would invite him to speak to us now and start the session. Sir, please, if you're present, can you kindly take over?
Okay, good morning, everyone. As I've been introduced, my name is Sam Afoiton, GMD Blue Sky Group. We really have a very short time. I want to believe that this lecture is meant to end by 11, right? Correct me, Modena.
Yes, sir. 11 a.m.
Okay, so we have just barely 48 minutes from now. So
Yes.
I really don't have much time because there's a lot that we are going to be talking about within a very short time. For those that are here, I want to congratulate you because I want to believe that you really want to learn one of the most important parts of every business, which is marketing and sales. For everything you must have learned and everything you will still be learning during the course of this exercise, this is the most important of it all. Because there is no business without marketing. There is no business without sales. So I would like to just touch a few bits. I think I want to use the next 30 to 35 minutes to touch everything I have on the slide. So I might be rushing on some because I want to leave room for questions. And then for every other thing, you that will be present physically, you can also be there on the 9th, which I'll be there physically to talk more on this and entrepreneurship. So please, can you help me to move to the next slide? So we are on marketing and sales strategy. And the scope we'll be looking at is what is marketing? We'll be talking a bit about that between marketing and sales. What is marketing strategy? Marketing strategy, the 5 questions or the 5 big questions. Sales and marketing case studies. Let's go to the next one. So the first one says, what is marketing? Please move to the next slide. So what is marketing? I'm just going to read out what is there as a basic definition. Marketing refers to, sorry again, I'm sure some of you that have been attending previously, I watched some of the videos, there were introductions that were done. Everybody were introducing themselves. I may not give you the opportunity to do that, but by the time you want to ask a question, I'll then get to know you. You already know me, and then we can know whoever we want to know in the future or during the question and answer period. So again, I go back to the basic definition. Marketing refers to the activities a company undertakes to promote the buying and selling of its products and services. Another definition says marketing is the activity of getting people aware of and interested in brand and its product, often by promoting its offerings so that customers perceive them as valuable or desirable. I always say one thing to my students or my staff, that marketing is the bedrock of every business. Marketing is the pillar of every business. You can never succeed in a business without not having a marketing skills. No successful businessman lacks the marketing or sales skills because that is what actually drives the business. So that will take us to the next slide where we talk about sales. Modena, next slide, please. Here, sales, a basic definition. A sale is a transaction between two or more parties that involves the exchange of tangible or intangible goods, services, or other assets for money. In some cases, assets other than cash are paid to a seller. Now, sales focus. No, sorry. Go back to the sales. Um, for every salesperson or for every marketing person that are listening to this, so you will agree with this, or even if you don't, you'll be hearing this from me, that the best way you want to drive sales is to be strategic about uh, those you are focused on. You need to have your niche. You cannot sell to everybody. Not everyone in the market is your target focus. So you need to be strategic in your marketing and also be strategic in your sales focus. Hence, you try as much as possible that you understand products that you're selling. That's number one. And then you understand the person or the people that you're targeting. Please take it back. I'm still on the sales part, Modena. Please take it back. Please take the slide back. Thank you. Please leave it until I say you can now move to the next slide. So what you want to do is to channel while you're actually trying to. A lot of people is out there. It's not everyone that is your potential buyer. So you are looking at the right product, or you believe you have the right product, and then you are selling to the wrong person. A lot of times we do that. And sometimes we have the wrong product, but we're not selling that to the right person. But what you want to target is to understand your product and you to understand the person or the market. And that is to take the right product to the right person. We're still going to come back to this in the future because there's a slide in front that actually still points out at this. So let's move to the next thing, marketing strategy. What is a marketing strategy? It says marketing strategy refers to efforts undertaken by an organization to increase its sales and achieve competitive advantage. I would like you guys to take notes of whatever questions because I'm trying to take my time so that with the little time we have so that you understand what I'm trying to give within a short period of time. And then, but then I'll be welcoming as much questions as possible. And trust me, you're going to get the best answers as possible as well. So, what is a marketing strategy? Marketing strategy refers to the efforts undertaken by an organization to increase its sales and achieve competitive advantage. Most of the time, you know you want to go into a business. That's for those that are the entrepreneurs here. And then you know that okay, this business, either you have an idea of it and you want to be the pioneer, or you know somebody is already doing it and you also want to do it. You always need to have a plan in place, a strategy in place. You need to just not know that okay, people are actually selling weavings. Me too, I want to start selling weavings. So let me go into that. Or people always drink water all the time, and there's a lot of brands of water out there. Me too, I want to start doing bottled water or pure water business. Now, it is not even about your capital that you're using to start the business that matters. You might even have the right capital, but you're not making any sales because your marketing is really not well strategized or poor. So, a marketing strategy is the effort undertaken by any individual or organization to increase the sales. So you put a structure, so you put a plan together and it helps you to direct how you want to sell the product and to whom you want to sell the product, when you want to sell the product, where you want to sell the product, and even at the price you want to sell the product. All those comprises of marketing strategies. Can we move to the next slide? And during this strategy, that is also, can we move to the next slide, please? Where the next slide talks about the what makes or how a marketing strategy helps in your endeavors or in your business. A marketing strategy helps you to differentiate your brand and product. We find a lot of ambiguity in some low level or low branded products, whereby, like some bottled water, where you have the bottles looking almost the same, or the package looking almost the same. But a marketing strategy will help you differentiate or make your product or service to be distinct, because you are in an industry and what you want to do is to put your brand, make your brand really different from every other brand. And then your product itself, because your brand is one thing and then your product is another thing. Your brand is a perception people have of you, and your product is what you're selling. Next says shows you develop a product proposition that is unique, which is what I just said earlier, to you and meaningful to your consumers. Third, it helps you own your own narrative or have your own narrative and the value you bring, rather than people or competitors defining that for you. Now, I want to use a case study here, like Lucozade. A lot of us know Lucozade, but the perception we have of Lucozade is that we take it to people in the hospital when they are sick. That is a narrative that people have created for that brand, that it is for the sick people. I'm talking about the Lucozade in the bottle. I think it's in a plastic right now, the big bottle, not the Lucozade Boosts. You understand the Lucozade I'm talking about. So people have actually given that brand or that product their own narrative. But the owners of the brand itself or the product itself says this is to re-energize you. This is to revitalize you during sporting activities, or maybe you're even at work, or where you just feel like you need to boost your sugar level. But people define it in a different way. So a marketing strategy will help you own your own narrative and the value you bring, and rather than allow people to do that for you. Then the fourth one, there says, when you do this right, when done right, shows you the pipeline and channels to use to optimize your business success. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, in marketing strategy, there are some models that you cannot do away with. And some of you might be familiar with this, some might not. And for those that are familiar with this, I want to reinvent it in your mind. While for those that are not familiar with it, definitely this to strategy, not only in your marketing day-to-day activity, not only in your marketing strategy, even in your goals that you want to achieve for yourself, for your product, or even in your career life. So it's called the SMART goals, SMART, where the S stands for specific, the M stands for measurable, the A stands for attainable, the R stands for relevance, and then the T stands for inbound. So it says there in the SMART goal, says, whatever you want to do while putting your strategies together, you need to know what exactly you are trying to achieve. Be specific. about what you're trying to achieve. I want this. Now, you cannot be thinking about, should I do Zobo business, or should I do Zobo business, or should I do pure water business, or should I do uh, uh, or can I just start the two at the same time? And if I'm achieving this, I want to achieve this, and you need to be very, very specific with what you're doing. And it needs to be very clear to you. If you are lost in your own planning, there's no how others will understand what you're doing. There is no how your brand itself will go out to speak the right language to the people that want to patronize you. So be very specific in your marketing strategy. Then the next one is measurable. You need to know how you will, measurable means like, how will you know when you've achieved this thing that you've actually specified? Okay, I want to get to, from Lagos, I want to walk down to Mowe, or I want to cycle, and by the time I get to from Maryland to Ikeja, from Maryland to Ikeja under bridge, um, by the time I get there, I want to make a U-turn under the bridge and come back to Maryland bus stop. You need to be that measured, so that by the time you're getting to under bridge of Ikeja, you need to know, I have gotten there. Now I can turn back, because this is. But when you say, I just want to cycle, but then you are not giving yourself any, distance or where you want to get to, you find out that even your level of strength can give up at any point, and you say, you know what, let me just turn back from this Eco hospital and start going back to Maryland, because you have not set any target or any goal, or you've not measured anything for yourself. And then the third one is attainable. You need to know that what you want to do is something that is achievable. You cannot say, I want to ride bicycle non-stop from Lagos to Abuja, and I'm not going to stop till I get there. I will just carry a pack of water at the back of the bicycle, and I'm good to go. That is not attainable, because your body cannot withstand that. You're going to, drop at some point. So when you're setting goals for yourself in marketing, you be sure of, this is what I want to do, and in the next 3 months, I want to have gotten to this point. I check by in 2024, whatever you must have set yourself to attain. Now that you are in the last quarter, you can say, okay, have I been able to, how far have I gone? So you should have done like 75% of what you set for yourself January 2024 by October 2024. If you have not, then you should be able, that is on the measurable, and then coming to the attainable, then you'll be able to say, okay, is this thing really attainable? So if it's not, then you need to rework your strategy. Don't put yourself in that point where you are actually saying, after listening to a motivational speaker, and say that you can actually sell granules, and then selling 2 bottles of granules, you build a house in Banana Island. By selling granules, you will try to sell, but it's going to take you, may never be possible, or take a miracle for that to happen. So we go to the R part, which is the relevant. How relevant is this? Does it contribute to your business revenue growth? Whatever you are doing, how does it contribute to the business? What is the level of contribution this strategy you want to implement? What contribution does it bring? How does it help that desired goal, what you have set for yourself? That that career line that you are looking at. This, what I'm doing right now, how is it helping my company, the company I'm working for, the goals that my company, my boss have set for me? How does it help me to actually, how does it contribute to that growth and success of the business? Then last but not the least, which is one of the most important, is time bound. You need to always put time. Whenever I'm giving trainings to my staff or or I'm taking lectures, I always let them know that time is the most precious thing in life. Time is a currency of life. How you spend it determines what comes out of it. So you need to be put a time to every project, put a time to every marketing strategy, put a time to every sales strategy. What is the time that I want to achieve it? So that by the time you are okay, I'm in the beginning of October. Today is 4th of October. So by the 10th of October, I hope to have attained this. By the 16th of October, if you don't do that, you'll see yourself doing the same thing. Even in December, you have not still gotten anywhere because you just leave it open-ended. So always consider time in all your strategies. Let's move to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. And I think the next slide, yes, the next slide is talking about the SWOT analysis. A lot of us should be used to this or should be already be aware of what the SWOT analysis is. This is one strategy that everyone, whether you're in sales, you're in marketing, you are in your day-to-day activities, in your personal life, in your relationships, you need to always consider this strategy because it helps a lot. The SWOT there, the S there stands for your strengths. The W stands for your weakness. The O stands for opportunity, and then the T stands for threat. Now, in putting yourself, now this is talking about you right now. Each individual person is listening to me right now. You have your strengths in you. You also have your weakness. Same with me. I have my strength, I have my weakness. And there are opportunities that around every single place you tread upon. Every single day that you wake up and you sleep at night, somebody has turned a millionaire or a billionaire that same day. You might go back home complaining that today is hectic, nothing really came out of today, while somebody's recording that same date as a breakthrough day for them. So there are opportunities everywhere. You just have to look out for it. And also at the same time, where there are opportunities, there are also threats. Now you can also consider those threats in business as risk. Your business, or a representative or an ambassador in the business, you know your strengths. You know the strengths of the company. You analyze it. You work on the strength. The strength of the company is what is referred to as what I refer to as the roots of that company, which you need to always take advantage of at all time. I'll use myself as a case study right now. My strength is what I'm actually passing to you right now: marketing and sales. And that I have actually used in developing my business. That people that have actually walked into Blue Sky have actually learned a lot from Blue Sky or the face of myself, who is actually the group managing director of Blue Sky Group. They learned that from me a lot of times and use it to even develop themselves even after their departure from the company. And there are lots of them right now that are doing so well with their businesses, and they'll always give the credit to the days or the time or their career path while they were with Blue Sky. So we work on our strength a lot, and then being the pillar of every business, we don't joke with our marketing skills, and we always try to improve on it. Same way, the same man that is speaking to you has his weakness. I will also tell you my weakness. My weakness is accounting. I can be very loose when it comes to accounting. So, and that's why I always, engage auditors or ensure that there's an accountant in the system to always put my books in place. But nevertheless, I try to develop myself in accounting. And every single person that is here also have their weakness. Do not do not let your weakness be what we always make you to what you always make you to be defaulting in your endeavors or what you desire or your dreams. You can always build on your weakness. Once upon a time, mathematics was my weakness. But before I left the walls of the higher institution, calculation became my favorite course. So opportunities, we in Nigeria, we know what the opportunities are. There are opportunities everywhere. As much as people are jackpying from Nigeria, a lot of foreigners troop into these countries every day. The question is, what are they seeing that you are not seeing? There are opportunities there. There are opportunities in the country. But then a lot of us don't see it. And that's why we will say, okay, if I have every opportunity, I'll leave the country. There are opportunities around the community. There are opportunities even on your streets. All you need to do is to just be well strategic in your marketing. You will see those opportunities. The same way there are threats. Most of you here might be young in your business. Definitely, you have people that have been in the business longer than you. In the country or the society where we are right now, people don't want to leave that industry. You find some people that are already like 45, 50 years old in the same industry that you are just 1 or 2 years old going into. Or people who don't want to resign from a particular position and that is not making you have promotion. So those things can be threats. But in all this SWOT analysis put together, my advice is always hold on and continue to build on your strengths. Improve on your weaknesses. Look out for your opportunities and ignore the threats. Once you can work on these other three, the threats will always continue to be there. But don't let it submerge the rest of the three, like especially your strengths and the opportunities that lies around. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, marketing and sales. The keynotes. So this, I'll be very short. I'll just read them out. The keynote things that you need, marketing and sales. It says products and services. Marketing. How does it fit? How does your product or service fit into the market that you're trying to drive it in? Because you want to start a business and you need to know how it fits. Take, for instance, somebody that is actually trying to do a tailoring business or fashion designing business, and then but then you want to start it in a village where you know their purchasing power is very very low, and you want to give them a kind of quality that only the celebrities can afford or only the politicians can afford. It doesn't fit in there. Yes, they will like it, but can they afford it? So let's move to know your customer. That's the key. I see. That is very, very key. You don't sell to people that you don't know. Always do your research to know that I know these people and I've already done my research so that you will not sell the wrong thing. Like I said earlier, selling the wrong thing to the right person or selling the right thing to the wrong person. Let me quickly use myself again as a case study here. There was a time many years ago I was working in an insurance company, and then I actually found myself selling life insurance. Life insurance, for any one of you that insurance company, you know that life insurance is about telling someone that when you die, take whatever we have with us, and then they'll benefit from it. And then we'll give all the money to your children when you die. Insurance is one of the hardest things to sell in this part of the world, especially life insurance. And I was actually selling or using this marketing tactics or marketing idea to a man that has been married for several years that doesn't have a child. telling that person, when you die, all your things or all your money will give it to your children. I was only reminding him of his sorrows or things that he's not really been happy about or things he's been praying about. So always know your customers before you go to them. It will help you to be able to sell the right way to them. Now, research your competitors. Unless you are the only one in the business, every business has a competitor. So always know what they are doing. Get to find out what they are doing better than you, how they are doing it. Spy on them. Know you need to get to know because you cannot know it all. You definitely will not know it all. So always find out, and that's why you see that between Nigerian Guinness and Nigerian breweries, Guinness Nigeria and Nigerian breweries, once they have one brand, the other one will come up with similar brand. Once they have one particular brand, you have Half Star, you have Gouda, you have just like that because they are competing. They don't want to lose their customer. So they research how they do it, and then they want to do something similar. It happens in the automobile industry as well, between Honda and Toyota. One thing very always very similar to each other because they want to also satisfy their own customers. So you research your competitors so that you be able to do more for your own customers. And then define your brand, which is the last one on that slide. Define your brand value proposition. You need to stand for something. Let people know you for something. Don't be jack of all trade. Let it be well spelled out that ABC Limited, this is what we do. This is what we want people to know us for. But in some cases, we have people confusing the way they sell themselves. They confuse their customers. And then it gets to a point the customer said, what do you really do? Because the other time you're doing this time you're selling that. What is it that you really want me to know you for? So please, let's move to the next slide. We're running out of time. Okay, I'll do this 7 P's of marketing. I will not talk much of this, but some call it the 4 P's in marketing, some say the 5 P's in marketing, but here are the 7 key P's in marketing. That's the price, promotion, place, product, people, process, and physical evidence. If you want to know more about this, please, you can read it up yourself about the 7 P's of marketing. They actually help in marketing and sales. Please move to the next. Next slide, please. Okay, here are the 5 marketing and sales questions. So I believe that this is where we're going to end this class under these questions. We talk about the what, the how, the who, the where, and the why. So let's quickly run through them. Let's go to the next slide. 5 marketing and sales questions. Next slide, please. So what is my company selling, or what do I sell, or what do the people need? When you want to start a business, these are the questions that you should ask. Now, I'm going to take a case study of what you see on the right-hand side is cowbell milk. When cowbell milk came into Nigeria, they have the likes of 3 Crown, Peak Milk, and the rest of the milk that we all drink. And the 3 Crown, Peak Milk is already holding premium level of milk brand. We don't compromise quality. We don't sell. We just put our things in Baba Salah, the medium, and then the small. For those that don't understand what Baba Salah is the biggest container of milk, the biggest size, and then the medium and the small. So, but cowbell came into the market knowing fully well that they have a good quality milk, but needed to penetrate the market and did not have they actually embrace a different marketing tactics. And let us leave. After they've done the feasibility studies, that's why it says know the market and know the customers. After knowing the market, they understand that all the brands that are out there are targeting the middle and the top high-end individuals, the HNIs and the high-level spenders. Why can't let us bring our brand in and target the lowest or the least or those are the bottom of the pyramid who have the highest numbers of who are the highest numbers in population, the poor people. And they brought out uh, their product in sachet. And then advert then, this milk is for the poor. So, like I said, you let people know what your focus, or you need to know what your focus are in marketing. So, who are your target market? Who are your target? Because you cannot sell to everybody. Who are your target? So, Cowbell targeted the poor. And then they came out with the sachet. And then they were selling it as cheap as 10 naira. Back then, when our money is still trying, 10 naira. And even in their adverts, they said, put on for tea, cowbell, put on for coffee, put on for akamu. They didn't even call it pap. They used the word akamu to say this is for the poor. And the pig milk and the 3 crown and the other crownies of the ones wearing the crown in milk industry, we're actually laughing at them. But within a period of 6 months of massive campaign, advertising, and push into the market, the monthly turnovers of those 10 naira were running into hundreds of millions. And everybody here, I'm sure, everybody knew that period, or if you take your mind back, you can still remember that period when cowbell came in and they were selling the sachet. And people were buying, you can just buy 10 naira and just put inside your gari, buy 10 naira and just put inside your pap, right? Inside your tea. It was not killing you to buy that, but it will kill you to say you're buying Baba Salam the rest. So the turnover. Hello, somebody should mute there, Modena. So the turnover that cowboys enjoying the rest of the milk industry of that market too. That's why later you saw cow 3 crown and pig milk and the rest of them also doing sachet. So no, Hello?
Hello. Hello, we can hear.
Okay, so we can hear you now. Your network.
Hello, please. Let's mute, please. Okay, sorry. No, I went off. I kept talking, so please me out. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please, what did you hear me say last?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
What was the last thing I said so that I can continue from there?
You said about the sachet milk and the strategy they brought into the market, the cowbell. Then we
Oh,
emphasize
wow.
on that people can use it. The normal people can use just buy 10 naira, put it in their gari, or put it in their pap, put it. So that was where I lost
Okay,
the.
okay. That was where. Oh, okay. I said a lot after then. I didn't know. All right, let me proceed. Let me just quickly run all that up in 30 seconds. So over few months, Cowbell Three Crown realized the turnovers, monthly turnovers that was coming to Peak Milk and Three Crown and the rest of them in the crown industries of milk realized the turnover that Cowbell was enjoying from those poor, in quotes, citizens in Nigeria that they felt could not afford milk. That they had to buy into it. And before you know it, they started putting pig milk also into sachet. Three Crowns also into sachet. And Cowbell was the one that betted that marketing idea. And today, what you have is the ideas of Cowbell to actually penetrate the milk industry. And afterwards, they started doing their routine and the rest of them. And yes, can you still hear me, please?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Is
sir. I can hear you.
everyone still hearing me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Please, next. Thank you. Please. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, what this says is, I think this is not. Okay, what this part says is how do I market? So how do I market my product and services? How do I market my product and services? I will quickly use this case study that is also there. We can we cannot remember this particular brand, Mirinda. Then there was a time that Mirinda actually was out of the market, and Fanta dominated the market a lot. But the company were going to bring back Mirinda, but they needed a strategy to bring it back, not like it was completely out of the market, but they just need to make it, like want to relaunch it back in a very big way. And that was when they brought this adverts of the three orange men. I'm sure those of you that can still remember that part, the three orange men. And the only period was they were not even talking about Mirinda. You just find three very tall, averagely skinned, averagely built people that are just walking around the streets of Lagos with bald head like what you have in the picture, wearing all black with green head. You'll find them in Oshodi today. You'll see them in Ojuelegba tomorrow, just walking around. And then you know adverts on the TV saying, "Have you seen the three orange men?" They were not saying anything about Mirinda. Not until you see people come back from school or come back from, I saw those three orange men at this advert. I saw them at, Ikorodu. I saw them at. It was after this you now found out that people were not seeing the three orange men anymore in Lagos. Then Mirinda now came up with the adverts. You now see those three orange men on TV drinking Mirinda. Now that is a marketing strategy, and it gave Fanta a very tough time after that relaunch or marketing strategy that came out. So how do you market your product or service? It also really matters. How do you push it out there? What channel do you use? How do it's not enough for you to just say you are just putting it on your status. It depends on what product or how far you want your product or service to go. But it goes beyond that. So always try to strategize the best channel or the best way to push out your product. Please, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now where do I find my customers? Where do I find my customers? That is, how do you sell? A case study there is on daily needs. A lot of you here would not know this toothpaste called daily needs. Maybe more would know daily needs. You can't find daily needs right now in any part of Lagos, modern markets or malls or supermarkets. You will not see daily needs, even in your local markets. But once upon a time, daily needs was selling, it was the number one toothpaste in Nigeria. And people were using it, then Close Up came and then McLean came. Then before you have the generation of Pepsodent and Colgates now and the rest of them. But once upon a time, so daily needs. Now the question is, where is daily needs right now? Daily needs and the makers of daily needs realized that the market has been saturated and been taken over by newer brands. They needed to move and go and find their market elsewhere. As I speak to you, the companies that make daily need cannot meet their demands, the demands of their consumers in the north. That they produce in Lagos and ship out tons of trucks of daily needs to the north where their market is. You need to look for your customers where they are, and then you focus on them. You cannot find them everywhere. That's why you need to do market surveys, market research, and the rest of them so that to identify where they need, and then you take that service or you take that product there. So you here might know that Tani Guarana. A lot of you might not know Tani Guarana. Tani Guarana was once upon a time one of the drinks that is like Coke, Fanta, and the rest of them. But right now, you cannot find Tani Guarana in the market anymore. Does that mean that it has closed down? No. Tani is currently selling somewhere else. RC Cola is currently their corporate offices in Ikeja, but they are not selling as much in Lagos. Rather, they are in the east. If you go to Oka, if you go to Enugu, if you go to, you find Tani RC Cola there and the rest of their brand, but they are not selling massively in the West. So where do you find your customers? Take your service there. Let's go to the next slide, please. Hello. Next slide, please. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
I
can you
can.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Can anyone
Sir,
hear
I
me?
can hear you, sir.
Yeah, please. I'm not seeing the slide anymore. All right, thank you for that. Okay, now the next one says, who needs my product? And I'll quickly rush through. I want to finish this in the next 5 minutes. We should be rounding up. So who needs your products? And I'm using a case study of this particular individual that sells handkerchief in the on the traffic. Remember earlier I said we'll come back to a particular part that says get the right products to the right person. Sometimes you're selling the right product to the wrong person. Sometimes you do the wrong product to the right person. Achieve is to get the right product to the right person. Now this guy is selling handkerchief in the traffic. And actually this happened to me. It happened to me. So it's my own personal experience. And in his mind, he believes that okay, this person has a high, and right behind him that is fully down for cool. But I was the only air conditioned. But because he believed that I have a higher purchasing order or purchasing power, I should be able to buy it. But he's selling the right thing. But no, I don't need it because I'm not sweating. But people that are needing it, that don't need to buy a pack, but can just be buying one each, and you finish a pack on one bus. I just right behind you. So what you need is to understand how to channel the right thing, or find the right people to sell, to push your product or your service to. Next, and I think that's the last in this five big question. Next slide, please. Okay, how? No, this is the fourth. How do I market or sell my product? You have different ways: digital marketing, physical, B2B, D2D, person that's meeting people physically, doing very good promotion, advertising, word of mouth, whatever means. But in all this put together, perception about your product or service really matters. That is what will sell it. Sometimes, no matter how good you are, how people perceive you and your products, you that you're selling it. Okay, imagine somebody that is dressed in a very tattered way, carrying, okay, or let me use those people that are selling drugs, that normally sell drugs in a traffic or inside the bus. Somebody, you are coughing and then you are selling cough medicine. Nobody recognize you. Or you are actually carrying a book, and then on that book it says that how to be successful in 3 months. And you're selling the book and you're struggling to sell it for 200 naira or 500 naira. Why can't you read that book yourself and be successful? So perception creates the right perception at all time for your product, for your brand, and even for you, because you yourself also a brand agent, or you're an ambassador of the company. Next slide, please. Why am I in business? So, for every business, the purpose is to create and keep the customer. And that's why you need marketing. The higher customers you have, the higher profit you make. The lower customers you have, the lower profit you make. And at the bottom, it says, without effective marketing, there are no sales. So always try to put the right strategies for marketing, because marketing complements sales. Marketing will always drive sales. Let's move to the next slide. And I guess that is the question for the day. So I would like, I want to engage anyone that can answer this next slide to please unmute and just answer, and then I will open the room for every other person to ask questions. But me, I want to ask my own question first. Next slide, please. Hello. So question, anyone that can answer this, please just unmute and answer. Can you fix a bad product by good marketing? Can anybody be bold enough to just say something on this? Can you fix a bad product with all you've heard? Can you fix a bad product with a good marketing? Who wants to try, please?
Yes. My name is Adem Ijulu.
All right, Mr. Shegun.
I believe yes, you can sell a bad product by good marketing, but you cannot continue. You can only sell it once. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting the fix, but you can sell a bad product by good marketing. If that's what you mean by fix. But good marketing will not correct the bad product.
Yeah. Can anyone try again? Will anyone like to try again? I just want to be sure we're all.
Good morning. My name is Ruth. I think you can sell a bad product by word of your mouth, with the confidence you have to sell your products. How you have advertised it, how you talk about it will make you sell a bad product with a good market.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's just leave it there. We have one male, one female has already answered. So, yes, you can sell a bad product with a good marketing. You have some people that are just sweet-mouthed, very, very good with how they talk about something. But then maybe at that point of you just because there's something that they call emotional marketing. You put emotions into it and you say, like I'm your brother or just help my business grow. But then the person that is buying it knows that this thing is not good enough, but I just want to help your business. But yes, like Mr. Shegun said, you can sell it, but you may not be able to fix the bad. But the only way you can fix it is through that's eateries. Eateries do that a lot where they have suggestion box or complaint box or hotels to do it. Just drop your complaint in this place because we know we cannot do it perfectly. So whatever you say is we should correct, we go and correct it. So a good marketing can sell it but cannot fix it. So but then feedbacks help you to fix your product or services. So I will leave, please, to the next slide. I want to believe that is the end of this section. There is so much more that we cannot say in this very short time. If you're interested in hearing more, you can come for the physical lecture I'll be giving on the night. You can contact me and then they'll give you the information to that. Please, next slide. And I think on that next slide, I say thank you to everybody that has actually participated in this. I'll leave room for some few. Please, somebody should mute that person. So please, I'm leaving room open for questions. So let's just do that in the next 10 minutes. I will call it
okay.
A day.
All right, thank you so much for that wonderful session. Please, if you have any questions, please. If you have any questions, you can signify by raising up your hand or typing it in the chat box. Or if you can't do that now, you can send it to me, I'll relate to him. So his LinkedIn is here. You can connect with him and reach out to him there. Okay. I don't think there are any questions. So thank you so much for this session.
You're welcome.
Someone raised hand. Are you trying to ask a question? Fidel Technologies.
Yes. Is it okay for me to proceed?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Femi Bankole, and I want to thank Mr. Afroiton for a very good session with us this morning. And I know that there's more to come when he does the live session next week, which we'll all be partakers of. Quickly, I've got a question, or probably two questions in one though, which I think we can all share together, and I would love the comprehensive answer on that. And my first question, it's more to do with marketing. And I was going to ask, how can we as small businesses measure and optimize return on investments on our marketing? And my second question would evolve on technology, more like tools. And that is where I'm going to ask that in today's day, with the lot of automation and tools out there, what are the most essential marketing automation tools for small businesses? Thank you.
Okay, can I get the next question? So I can just put everything down together, and I just want to take two questions from two different people.
Okay, sir. Can we hear
The
me?
next one, please. Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much, sir. That was so insightful. Thank you so much. Learned a lot. So I wanted to go back to when you talked about.
Sorry, please. What's your name, please?
My name is Abisoye Adegoke, Singing Bee.
Okay.
So I wanted to go back to when you mentioned that your weakness was accounting, and then as individuals, we have to know like our strengths and weaknesses and all of that. So when I started Singing Bee Agency in 2019, I was using my personal account until 2022 when I engaged the financial analyst for the brand. And so we started using a separate account till we finally got the TIN and established the official company account. So we've been able to like review and evaluate our revenue and expenses since that 2022. So my question now is putting the finances into perspective. Do I have to like go back and review my personal account from 2019 when we started? Like, did you have to like come through your former accounts, or you just continued with when you eventually established the company account? Did you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I heard you, Abisoye.
Thank you so much.
Now, relating to what you said, Mr. Femi Bankole, please, can you permit me to quickly answer her? Because hers is just short and straightforward. So, relating to what you said about weakness, I'm a bit confused on what the SWOT analysis has to do with the question you asked about. What I want to believe you are asking is that your business has been going on, and then you now got your team later, and then you now set up the business proper. So are you going to do an accounting from when it started, or you're going to do the accounting from when you got your team? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you started that question, you said something. You said, I heard you say accounting is your weakness. So, and what the question you're asking is related to accountants. So they will be the best person to put you through in that accounting process of how to put your books. But what we're talking today is on marketing and sales. That is on finance, accounting. Do you understand me, Bisoy?
Okay, yes, I get. I actually noted when you talked about the accounting aspect of your brand. So that was why I thought to ask that. Okay, so when you eventually like focused on strengthening that angle, like did you not have to like start from the very first year, the very first time that you started your brand, or was it like a progressive?
What did I do? Okay.
Yes.
I always ensure we have an accounting house, and we have also auditors. So the auditors are actually also accountant and manage taxation process. So so even while we don't have an accountant in-house, the auditors are actually working. So there has never been any time that we had that lacuna. But then at the same time, even if you want to, it is the point at which your registration starts that the LIRS or FIRS will start from, because you have your certificates of the TIN certificate. This is from that very point that they start to read. Well, I think they even give you some grace to actually start your business before they start taxing you.
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
answer your question?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so
So
much.
it is at that point that they start. All right, yo. Okay, going to Mr. Femi Bankole. Your first question is, how can SMEs measure or optimize ROIs on marketing? Um, uh, Blue Sky also we are also in the field of the SMEs. Um, we always, although we're growing and we're hopeful to get bigger than what we have, but then right now, what we've been doing, or what I always recommend SMEs to do, is to, in marketing, a lot of things have been said today in regarding how to channel it. Now, it is what, especially because you did not specify what industry, it is what industry you are that would actually also help you to understand how to maximize return on investment. So, how much are you putting in? If I'm actually to speak to any young entrepreneur that wants to start a business today, I will repeat the same thing that was said to me by my mentor while I was about starting Blue Sky about 14 years ago. He said, always start small. Start small. We all have big dreams. In fact, sometimes you're so energetic, you just want to do everything at the same time, or maybe because you have one capital somewhere. But learn to start small, let your business grow itself, put the right things in place so that it can actually get to a point where the business is actually taking care of itself. So to optimize now depends on what your target markets are, or what your target audience, or what your target customers, who your target customers are. Once you put the right strategy in place, do you want to target the middle class? Are you targeting the A-list companies, or are you targeting the B-list companies? Do you want to just, are you okay with those people that are just what was it called? Those people that are ready to just pay you 10,000 naira for your service, and that's okay by you by the time you get multiple of them. Let's take, for instance, when in the banking sector, when GTB came, GTB was the one that came in with zero minimum balance. But as at that time, you had Zenith Bank, 50,000 naira is a minimum, big money by that time. So as a student, you cannot afford to have Zenith Bank account. But GTB came and said, Gbogbo, everybody just come with zero, just is your name and we'll send you your account details. So who are you targeting will actually depend on your level of investment. And while you're doing that, you need to consider the risk involved as well. How much are you putting in to know, okay, I've actually invested enough for me to start saying I want to wait to recoup, so that you don't burn at some point and then a lot of business go down. I've seen businesses that have run down all because they put too much into the structure of the business, but not into the marketing of the business. So once you get your marketing right, Mr. Femi, there is 100% assurance of return on investment once you get it right. Then to your second question that speak about tech, today using today's tools in marketing. Now, I'm glad I know you in person, and I know you currently reside in a much more civilized environment. But I want to use, for the sake of most of the listeners that are here, I want to use the Nigeria as the environment to explain this. We don't, more of what works here right now, or what works the most is like, it is very easy in the UK where you reside for people to do telemarketing, where a phone will just ring and then you pick up the phone and you hear somebody that is talking about their product, or where you get post mails, you just see somebody drop a post in your door, and they're actually talking about their product. That doesn't exist, or it cannot work here in Nigeria, where people are posting to all the houses in Lagos or all the houses in Nigeria to talk about their product. But the few things that we do is email marketing. You get email marketing, you get direct marketing. And direct marketing is the most effective of all marketing. Word of mouth marketing is, in fact, the best. When you get people talking about your product on your behalf to say, go and try this, the trust is immediately transferred to that person that is actually they are talking to. The trust I have for you, if you are the one telling me about that product, that trust will transfer from of you or for that product. I'll just believe so much, or that product, or that tailor, or that carpenter, or that engineer is good because you refer them to me. So we don't do much of tools. Rather, we do much of the few things that really work in Nigeria here, or online marketing. So online marketing is quite very effective, which I do not have the time to talk about them much because I'm supposed to also talk about digital marketing, but the time will not permit that. So if you have the opportunity, or every other person, to be there on Wednesday, I'll be able to buttress more on entrepreneurship and other parts of marketing and sales that are there in. Does that help a bit, sir?
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
We can also have other communication by the side. Thank you for attending this class, sir. Any other question, Modena Hide?
Okay, so we don't have any questions. So like you said, he's going to be present physically next week, Wednesday, right? And you get to meet him
Yeah.
and ask your questions. So this week is going to end the virtual session. So next week we have a physical session and meet the mentors live. So thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. I mean, I'm sure they learned a lot. I also learned something. Thank you, sir, and would love to do this again with you. I have a nice day, sir.
You are very much welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and see you next week.
Thank
Have
you,
a
sir.
great weekend.
Okay, so we're having the next session by 11:30. I don't know, you might want to stay back or come back, but it's 11:25 already, so I would advise to just wait for the next speaker. He'll be joining us soon. Thank you so much.